This week we will be focusing on contract negotiation, or to be more precise, preparing for contract negotiation. The learning outcomes for this week are to understand that contract negotiation is a business problem-solving task, not just or exclusively a legal task. We're going to become familiar with a few common contract terms. We'll know how to compare a vendor standard contract with a model license and note the differences. This is important in order to prepare for negotiating a contract, which might be done by preparing a list of questions for discussion with a vendor or seller via email or phone. So what is a contract anyways? A contract is simply an agreement between two parties. The contracts can be either verbal or written. We're focusing this week on written contracts. Written contracts are easier to document and defend in court. This may help to explain why when there's a written contract, it should be considered the authoritative agreement, whether it says so or not. So why does this matter? In business practice, a salesperson can promise you the moon, but if it's not in writing in the contract, it can be difficult, if not impossible, to hold the vendor to fulfilling the promise. Information professionals can be involved in many different types of contract negotiations. For example, if you're a government information manager, you could be responsible for negotiating a contract with a consultant or to purchase an information technology. If you're an archivist, you might need to develop a contract for donors of historical material. For the purposes of this exercise, we're going to be using the context of academic libraries, something that we're all familiar with as students and professors. Libraries purchase electronic resources such as journals and books for students, faculty, and staff. EBSCO is one of the companies that sells packages of journals and books to libraries. You might be familiar with some of the popular EBSCO products such as Academic Search Premier. The packages contain material that is produced by many different publishers. Okay, so to get starting, we will do a first reading. This is a first reading because in the next videos, we'll be focusing on particular sections. And after we focus a bit on particular sections and terms, then we will do an exercise in the group discussion in Brightspace to prepare for that contract negotiation. So to get started, I've made excerpts of the CRCAN model license. You can read it in English or French. These are excluding the addenda and schedules, and the first 3 pages of the EBSCO terms of use.